Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is my favorite day of the week. I'm here with my three favorite people. Actually, two of them. We have my friend Sami Abusaad, Derrick Oldensmith, and JR is out picking daisies in the backyard or whatever. So Nvidia earnings are coming up. It's obviously one of the big events of the season. And we need to know, is this stock is it as bad as it looks? Because I don't know what's going on with Nvidia. It cannot get out of the mud. And I've been thinking in the back of my head, it could be a value trap. But I'm going to pull up the chart and everybody's saying it's super cheap. It's trading at 21 times earnings now, but it just looks kind of uninspiring. So Sami, I guess you're on top. So I will start with you. So technically speaking, what are you seeing with Nvidia?
So you're right, weakness. I see weakness on the daily, but I also see a beautiful uptrend on the weekly, beautiful uptrend on the monthly. Also on the daily, we have a big rounded base. So, short-term weakness, but long-term strength. So I'm not gonna touch it. I took 4 earnings plays yesterday. All 4 of them worked a little bit. This one I will not be calling. Because it's weak short term, but longer term bullish.
All right, Derrick, you've been notably bullish on the semiconductors. What do you make of Nvidia?
I'm bullish. So Nvidia has just been really sloppy and choppy for the most part for months and months and months. I mean, we had the breakout above $200. It gave great initial follow through, but then it just went back to kind of being choppy and sloppy. But as long as it's holding above $200, the bigger picture is bullish. I am also bullish. I would note that the last 10 earnings reports in a row from Nvidia have been boring price action. It has stayed within the range that the options implied move would have implied. And I think that the reason for that is because all the hyperscalers have already reported, all of their biggest customers have already announced how much they're spending in the space. So NVIDIA tends to not really be too much of a surprise. So I'm not really expecting anything too exciting here, but bagel ahead, I would say we move higher on an announcement related to capital being returned to shareholders, profits being returned to shareholders through the forms of buybacks, increased dividends. That's just going to be increasing and increasing and increasing. They might give us some wild buyback announcement that makes this thing move higher. You already mentioned that it's cheap. It's just going to get cheaper. They're going to be on the bid. So the long-term chart is bullish. The long-term thought process is bullish. I'm bullish. Let's go.
Okay, and Derrick, I could have been mistaken, but did you say bagel to head?
I stole that from my good buddy Josh Leffler. That's something he says. Very New York of him. Yeah, bagel to head. I think we're moving higher.
Okay, yeah, okay. So we have. So I will try to make the type bigger on the screen. Actually, that doesn't work, but right here, if you guys can see on the screen. So for the last 4 quarters, Nvidia has been red the day after earnings, and the last 6 out of 8, actually, it's been red the day after earnings. So, JR, I'm going to go to you. Is there any edge on Nvidia this earnings season at all?
Well, they say 2 things are certain in life: death and taxes. I would say 4 things are certain in life: death, taxes, the Larry Williams July long, and shorting Nvidia when it gaps up after earnings. It's free money, folks. Why is everyone so down? It's free money. Do you hear me? Other than that, look, this thing is priced for perfection as always. I think they're going to hit their numbers. We're going to be listening to the guidance really, really carefully. We're talking about a 97% year-over-year EPS increase. They have to hit at least $85 billion in data center revenue. So the guidance, as always, is going to be essential. We're going to be listening into the next quarter guidance. And then there's other issues. The whole circular financing thing is a thing. It rhymes with circle blurk, if you know what I mean. I think that's one of the reasons why this trades at such a discount. Not to mention the fact that they don't really have a particularly strong moat against competitors, AMD, and innovations from partnerships like MRVL and Google. So, um, do I think it should be trading at such a discount? Nobody cares what I think, but that's really big picture. I think Nvidia continues to go higher, but in a very circumspect and herky-jerky way. Pusillanimous, as they say.
Yeah, I think like I want to start at Nvidia, an AI company, because Nvidia will float me like $5 billion. You just have to go online and fill out the application. It's
Yo, Jensen, get more a couple of bill,
what was the name of the plan after COVID? Was it the Paycheck Protection Plan?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we have to
The
create
PVP.
something. Yeah, it's like Nvidia has its own like AI protection plan. Like they will float you the money for anything. I mean, we're seeing that, Perplexity news. Okay, all right. So unanimous this quarter. Anything goes. JR is saying short a pop. Long term, it could be okay. Okay, so which means we have to move on to my other favorite topic in the universe, or the galaxy, SpaceX. Yeah, Sami, I saw you listing SpaceX as a buy again today. I don't know.
It looks good. I don't like the rounding top that it formed on the daily chart, but notice now it's been trying to bottom and it's formed a nice base breakout or a pullback and a little bit of a rounded base on the daily chart. So I like it higher. I hope it follows through. It hasn't been really following through, but I hope it follows through. If it can follow through, I think we see 170 as the next target area. So I like it. I'm in it long.
Yeah, and Sami, you're going strictly technicals on this. You're not even you don't care about the news or any of that stuff?
Everything I do is 100% technical. I don't care about the news. So that's just me. That's what works for me. I try to keep it simple, objective, not impose my own opinion on what the market is telling me, and it works. So I'm not going to change it 20 years later.
Okay, all right, Derrick. I know you're short this stock now. I have to go with Sami because the cosmic cockroach, it refuses to die like every great cockroach. So so explain to the good people out there, why are you still betting against SpaceX?
I mean, refuses to die. I would still reiterate that this is probably the easiest short that I've ever done in my entire career. I'm still short from $210, $215 on that day 3 to the upside with that insane tail. And the biggest surprise for me when this thing worked its way all the way down to 105 was that there was no pops along the way. Like this thing just died. There was no buyers out there at all. Finally, we got a little bit of a pop from 105 to 150 to retest previous support and hold it as resistance. And that's really where I reinitiated size in the short. And then once again, they just keep this thing so easy for us short sellers, $20 a downside off of that retest of that level. Yeah, it's holding in a little bit better here the last couple of days, but there's nothing to trust here. There's nothing to like. It's still lower highs on the daily chart since the IPO has occurred. Maybe there's a little bit of a higher low that it's attempting to do here on August 20th, but that's just going to lead to more insiders coming in and selling the stock. This thing could see a short-term squeeze one day to the upside, but otherwise, I think it's dead money, and just going to stick with what's paying me. It's been the easiest short ever because Elon had to come out and basically scam retail, and that was pretty obvious. We talked about it here first.
So, Derrick, are you saying you're not a fan of Elon Musk? Do we have that correct?
No, I'm not into guys who think it's funny to
here we go.
Get on national television and start throwing up the Hail Hitler sign. It's not my cup of tea. I had 2 grandfathers fight in World War II, so no, never going to be a fan.
Okay, JR, in World War II, did you support the Nazis or America? I just want to get this down for the record. I want to know if you're a good person or not.
My Ukrainian relatives were all running barefoot from the Nazis and the Cossacks. So I'd say not a fan.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jr.
Touchy subject. Yeah, what's up?
I don't think it's that touchy.
Not a fan of the Nazis.
All right. So we have a unanimous. Nazis are bad. We're all good people here. Okay. Back to SpaceX.
You didn't ask me,
Yes.
but it's okay. It's okay.
Sammy, of all the people on this call, you're the one I can trust the most. These other two are a little questionable. But Jr., I got to side with Sammy on SpaceX. I just got a feeling it's going up. So, like, are you still on
Oh, you're
with Derrick?
going with the vibes? Nice.
Strictly the
Yeah.
vibe. All my great investments have been made purely on vibes. So, what do you see with SpaceX?
SpaceX has a bright future ahead of it. They released another 7% of the float the other day. To very little effect. I was actually surprised. I'm still short from the IPO, and I'll continue to stay short. The only thing that really this is how you know that you got old. I'm just like an ordinary old man. I pull up an alternate ETF to trade, and there's like 30 of them. Why do we need 8 gazillion SPCX ETFs? It just drives me bananas. But anyways, I've been scalping it, trading it to the upside. I'm still short to the downside. I think it has a bright future ahead, but I think I too follow the chart. But knowing that there's like 70% additional float unlocking soon gives me the heebie-jeebies. It trades well. As an instrument, it trades well. It's fun to trade. You've taken the 21 the little weakness there until I'll tell you my level until 150 breaks with volume and forms a new base, a new recumulative base. This thing is short every pop to 150 opportunity. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I searched our friend ChatGPT for SpaceX ETFs, and yeah, there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Okay, so we need to talk about the broader markets. People are starting to freak out about bond yields. We have Jackson Hole, where Warsh, I don't know, he could throw a grenade in the middle of the picnic. Now I can see, let me pull up SPYs. So SPY's basically sitting right on the 20-day right now. Do any of you guys see any broader trend we can count on from here?
It looks good. The SPY looks good. The IWM looks even better, but it's the same old market. It's just like there's no follow through. It pops really hard or drops really hard, and then it stops, and then it's chop, and then a month later, and then you get one pop, and that's it. So it's the same old market, but the SPY daily chart objectively, looks good. The IWM daily chart looks good. The Qs looks good also. Maybe Nvidia will be a catalyst, but again, it's just the same old market. It's been like that for a long, long time. You get one drop, one pop, and then it just goes in chop mode for a long, long time. So that's what we're seeing, I think.
So dare I say it, is this a stock picker's market?
You could say that.
Stock picker. What is this, CNBC, bro?
It's
always a stock picker's market. Well,
I'm using this.
Let's
is
talk
JR,
about Apple.
JR. This is terms like stock picker's market show that I am a trained professional.
Yeah, I know you're real polished.
Anyway,
love you, man.
JR? Do you have anything valuable to add besides these asinine remarks?
Sure. We're obviously in a longer term uptrend. It's some people are arguing we may see the end of the shorter cyclical uptrend into a larger pullback. This is a very hard market to short. Here, I'll say this. Can I share my charts? Is that possible?
Sure.
I mostly agree with Sami here. Being a bear in this market has got to be the most ridiculous, sadomasochistic exercise ever. You get to be right like once a year for about 10 minutes. It's like guys selling gold at 2 a.m. on CNBC. They have their moment in their sun once a decade.
When gold had that big, I remember like the gold people they did have a party for quite a long time. Anyway, JR, what are we looking at?
So this is chart of the SPX, I agree mostly with what Sam was saying here. We get bad news. You may end up getting like basically the this 21 here may end up being the C pivot to an ABCD right back to the mid channel line. I don't see this chart going back to the 200-day, but I do see potentially a move back to the mid channel line. This is a 2.5 standard deviation regression channel. Blah blah blah, and it's bounced very voraciously every time it's come up here. So, this is how inverse head and shoulders at the top form, right? So we're going into September. Very volatile cyclicality, and then October tends to be a fun house. It's an interesting prospect. We've got the PCE this week. We've got Jackson Hole. We've got Nvidia. A whole lot of catalysts, which I think accounts for the very low volumes we're seeing in the market. We're basically trading in a very, very tiny trading range here. Bulls are holding up to 21. Bears are selling in the 77.10s, and we're just in a holding pattern, waiting to see how this week finishes out. The earnings season's been mostly really, really good, and but we're still getting warnings of persistent inflation. The long end of the curve is a disaster, and I think that the Fed doesn't really. There's concerns correctly placed that the Fed is not really going to be able to control the long end of the curve because it's not really their purview. And I think there's a big concern that Besant is going off the reservation a little bit, and you're really manipulating the situation to bring the dollar down. I think there's this feeling in the market that Besant and Warsh are not on the same page, and I think a lot of the trepidation we're seeing in the markets may be related to that. Not to mention that inflation in many markets remains very stubbornly persistent. So we have a lot of geopolitical crosswinds ahead. And we seem to be unable to get crude under 80. I think the market's right to be concerned.
Okay, Derrick, what do you make of the broader action here?
I think that JR just covered it really, really well. The market technicals here are still fully intact and bullish as far as I'm concerned, as long as the SPY stays above like 755 to 760. Which is the resistance zone of the 3-month consolidation that we had that broke out in the beginning of August. So as long as we continue to stay above that, this market looks healthy to me. It looks higher. My bullishness has some reservation because of seasonality, which JR touched on. We are entering a pretty bearish period of time from a seasonality perspective as we get into September and October. I believe September is the worst performing month on average in a given year. And this is especially true in a midterm year. In a midterm year, going into the midterms, these next couple months tend to be really weak. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind as I look at the market that's still holding in fully technically. So as long as the market's holding in technically, as long as the AI trade is still fully intact, which it appears to be, there's no reason not to be bullish, bigger picture. And I do think if we get seasonal weakness, that actually leads to a broader buying opportunity. The only concern that I've really had is interest rates. And for the moment, Besant for better or worse, seems like he has come in and saved the day there. TLT is well off of lows. It's up another 0.9% here. So if you can abate my only real concern about this market from the bigger picture fundamentals, there's nothing to dislike here outside of recognizing that we're entering a little bit of a difficult period from a seasonality perspective. So unless Nvidia derails us or worse derails us on Friday, we look great as long as we continue to hold the level that I mentioned.
Okay. All right. I want to move on to a slightly related topic, especially because Derrick, you brought up the semis. Like, I want to talk a little bit about how to resist FOMO, because especially like with the semis, it feels like people are constantly getting whipsawed because one piece of news comes out about DRAM pricing or whatever it is, Nvidia's raising prices, blah, blah, blah. All these hot names skyrocket, everybody gets excited, then like they're down the next day. So how do you kind of resist like these sort of short-term temptations, I guess is the best way to put it?
Is that directed towards me?
Sure. We can start with you, Derrick.
Cool. So what you're describing, I think, is a psychological phenomenon in trading. And once you have kind of developed your trading edge in the market, you understand how you can make money in this business. This business really becomes, I think, 90% psychology. It's understanding the psychology of the market, and it's understanding your own psychology, how certain things will influence your headspace, such as your P&L being up a lot of money, your P&L being down a lot of money, having FOMO on missing a trade, all that stuff. The biggest counter to all of this is to be disciplined with your game plans. I'm a believer that the only way that you can be a consistently profitable trader is if you are consistent in your approach to the market. The only way that you can be consistent in your approach to the market is if you have rules that govern everything that you do. Your rules are manifested in the game plans that you establish for every trade that you put on. So if you've got a good edge in your trading, that edge is going to include not chasing price. It's going to include managing risk properly, maximizing reward, having rules in place for that. And then you have to have the discipline to be able to follow through with it. You show me a trader who is willy-nilly trading on FOMO because stock went up a lot, he's upset he's not in it, and starts buying it after 4 huge up days in a row. I'll show you a trader who will never be successful because that trader has no consistency. There's no rules governing his actions, or even if he has rules, he's not following them. So that's going to be the biggest thing. Is look, I tell the traders all the time, the market's not Pokemon. You can't catch them all. It is impossible to capture every single trading opportunity in the market. And guess what? You don't have to capture every single trading opportunity in the market. The market's an opportunity creating mechanism. You miss this one today, be patient. There's going to be another one that lines up with your edge. But if you start freaking out because you missed something and you start chasing, you're never going to be consistent. You're never going to make money. You're going to have no rules, and you're going to be out of the business. So there's my answer for you.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. I don't like Pokemon, but the theme song is awesome. Okay,
Please never do that again. Thank you.
Can you believe?
Sorry.
Can you people believe I have to work with these miserable pieces of?
Miserable.
I don't know what.
That was pretty rough, Mike. I gotta say.
You know, next time just sing it in iambic tetrameter. The whole show. Like a Greek bard.
Can't stand people. Okay, JR.
Yes, sir. What's up, Captain?
What do you tell people who are kind of caught in this trap of chasing the hot thing of the day?
I tell them not to worry about it. It's a self-correcting problem. They're either going to get their rectal cranial inversion corrected through time, just like price, or they're going to get spat out of the market. Easy peasy. It's a self-correcting mechanism. You either fix it or you're going to die.
Sami, did you agree with this fix or die mentality?
100%. Nothing more needs to be said.
Okay, all right, moving on. It's time to my favorite part of the week, which is where everybody shares only their number one idea. And I'm looking at you, Sami, as I say this.
Yeah,
I will
I think
acknowledge you called Bitcoin. You sneaked in Bitcoin the last time when I wasn't looking. But Gilead also did very well. And JR Instacart's been rocking pretty hard from a few weeks ago. Okay, anyway. Who wants to jump in and share their number one favorite idea? Just one.
I'll jump in, but I gotta say you can't make rules like that.
That's horrible.
Rules because
what is this? The Spanish Inquisition? Why can't we get 3?
So here's the thing. I agree we shouldn't be reading off of a list of 30, 40 symbols. I agree 100%, but we shouldn't restrict it to just one, because in trading, it doesn't work like that. But at any rate, if you want me to just give you the one, I'll go with Spotify. But if you want more, I got more.
No. Why do you like Spotify?
I called it in the newsletter today. Triggered. It looks good. It built a really large, rounded bottom on the daily, weekly, and monthly, and it's starting to break out. So that's why I like it, and I like it higher to 700, maybe more, depending on the market environment, I guess. So that's
perfect.
My pick. I got more, but that's my pick.
I know you have more, but I appreciate that you have the courage to just pick one and go with it.
This isn't like CNBC, bro.
It's not just the courage, because sometimes you pick 3 and you want me to just give you one, and it ends up not being the one. But that's okay. I'm picking Spotify.
Sami, give us 2 more. I want to hear 2 more. Come on.
Okay, well, I'm watching SOFI long also because it had a breakdown failure, so it's been basing. So I like SOFI long. I like Netflix and Pega. They both look the same, but on the next entry. Netflix bottomed. I said it last week, but I just haven't been able to figure out a way in. So I'm watching Netflix and PEGA. Both of these look good. And then I'll give you one more.
Here we go.
Okay. I'll
No. First of all, you see the way this bullshit happens.
Send it, Sami. You got the moment, man. Send it.
We should limit it to 5, but it's okay. I went with.
So this is like.
Well, ask the chat. Do they want 1 or do they want 5? Ask the chat. Ask the people.
I don't care what anybody wants.
FCX looks pretty good.
You see, here we go. First it goes, Sami says, we can't do 1. And then he bullies me into 3. And now we're going on like 6.
I didn't. I was just responding to.
You're like Emperor Nero, man. Such a despot.
Well,
FCX looks good, Mike.
We're everything after Spotify, we're striking from the record.
All right, I'm done.
Thank you, Sami. I appreciate your cooperation. Who wants to step up and share one idea? Or if you speak Spanish, uno.
Uno.
Who wants to step up?
You mean other than SpaceX?
No, other than... I need,
the one is hard. Sometimes I've got like a lot of conviction in one idea and it's great, but like other times I don't. So right now there's a few things out there that I kind of like, but there's nothing out there that's like really slapping me in the face that has me wildly excited that I could narrow it down as one idea. I'm in the SOFI with Sami. If this thing could ever clear through 19, I think it looks good. It's kind of given so many false starts and attempts to try to break through there, but I do like that one. I still like the memory names. I think you could be long memory versus yesterday's low, DRAM, SanDisk, Micron. And there's a few Mag 7 names I like. I think Microsoft looks pretty good here. It's trying to break back up after making a higher low. Had probably the best earnings report out of any Mag 7 stocks. Amazon I like too if you can get above 265. And Google I like a lot if you can get above 350. That was more than one.
I thought you might like Microsoft. Derrick.
What'd you say about it?
I thought you might have liked Microsoft because out of the Mag 7, it looks the best. I agree.
I agree. Yeah, it looks really good.
JR, do you like Tractor Supply Company, TSCO?
Yeah, we've been watching this one for a minute. It looks perfect rounding bottom into a flag, popped out of the flag, and it's getting ready to take the pivot high out. It looks gorgeous.
There
Okay,
you
so
are.
It looks like a one-way trip to the 200. That's beautiful. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
JR,
one of my moderators called it out. Yeah, yes, sir.
so Tractor Supply is your single
Hold on
solitary
a
pick of the
second.
week.
All right, listen. If it were Monday, I would say TECK for a
It's
little
not
bit of
Monday.
handle building into this cup. If it were, I would say that this would look great as a cup and handle in high heels and a size 4 dress. If it was a Wednesday, I would say I'm getting ready to buy SOFI.
It's
If it was past lunchtime, I would say that TIGR off the rounding bottom into a gap fill to the 200 EMA. The SMA looks great. If my name was Steve, I would say QURE here is getting ready for a major base breakout. You're through the high volume node in the prior distribution top, and this QUR. I don't even know what these people do, but the chart looks ready to rock and roll. If I were a bear, I would say Datadog here has a massive H into a distribution top, and it's ready to really fall apart like a cheap Hong Kong suit. If I were
can we remove the ifs? We don't need the ifs. If it was Wednesday, if I was Japanese,
I'm almost done. MNDY looks great for a pinch into the 200. Notice here in this cold decline, there's almost no transactional volume. Probably not a whole lot of overhead to deal with. I like MNDY off the bottom. If as a lagger play the software, if it pinches at 200. Ion D, IPO base breakout. 7090 looks good enough to eat. Agilent has been basing for like 2 years. This one looks fantastic. And then add through the 179.57 pivot. And that's all I got to say about that.
okay, which one was your favorite?
My favorite.
We're giving up this stock market polyamory. Where imagine liking like 9 football teams because that's what I just experienced.
Why not? This is America, dude. You can like whatever you want.
And 9 out of 30
HNG.
is different, but we got thousands
All right.
to pick from.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful charts. This is what kills me about this market, Sammy. You go on stock tweets and you go on all these places. There's nothing to trade. This market is garbage. I'm like, what crack are you smoking? There's so many beautiful charts in this market. Hinge Health, the XLV has been on freaking fire. Look at this chart. Just beautiful, beautiful strength here. It's hit all of our targets and then some. But I think the trend continues. HNGE, I think this was my co-moderator's pick. One of my mods picked this out. You got a beautiful. It's a little narrow to be a cup and handle, but it's a sort of a dip and a base. Through 93.21, this has a massive 30-point measured move. I absolutely love this Hinge Health. If I had to pick, this would be my one pick. See, you got my one pick.
Okay, so we could have avoided all these preambles.
Ask the chat if they would just have rather had one.
I don't care. I don't care what they want. I don't care what anybody wants. I am the boss.
Okay.
Wow, look at you.
Supreme
wow,
Leader
whoa,
Kamau.
This is not a democracy.
I hear Cambodia's looking for a new despot.
Man, is the job listed on LinkedIn?
Oh, probably.
I'm interested. I like this comment. Yeah, seems Sammy and Michael are the only sane ones. I appreciate that. I agree. We are the only sane ones. Sammy and I are Team SpaceX, and the other guys, I don't know what to call them. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
That's not why. Because SpaceX could fail, and I would still call myself on the same side.
Okay, I agree. Okay, everybody, this was a wonderful show. Apparently, I'm being fired as we speak, so I might not be here next week. All right, everybody have a wonderful day. Good luck out there, and JR, stay on the line here. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See ya.